Okay, boys and girls, today is Thursday, May 14th. May 14th, we are flying through this week and flying through this month, I feel like. All right, so today, this is where you're going to click to see the video, but today you will be comparing food chains and food webs. So far we've been talking about food chains, okay? How does the food get to your plate? Starting with the sun, makes something grow, something eats it, we eat that, vice versa, starting with the food chain. So now we're going to look at what happens when the sun makes the carrot grow and the rabbit eats the carrot, but I also eat the carrot, and a coyote eats the rabbit. I could eat the rabbit. I mean, I'm not a big fan of rabbit. I've actually never had it before, but you can eat rabbit. So it's what happens when it's not a straight line across? Because you know what? In the real world, it doesn't always work that way. So looking today at what a food web is, okay? Starting with clicking on the food chain versus the food web, it's going to take you to this video. Pay very close attention to 3 minutes and 15 seconds because pay close attention to 3:15 and forward about food webs, and not forward, and listen about food webs, okay? Specifically, okay? So it's going to start talking specifically about food webs because that is what we're going to be working with today is a food web. All right, and then after you watch that video, there's a game to play. I tell you what, why don't you go ahead and pause my video and go over to that page and go ahead and watch food chain versus food web. All right, so now that you've watched that, you're back and you understand what a food web is to an extent, but we're gonna play a little game. So right here is an interactive game. I thought this was a lot of fun. In fact, I actually really started laughing during this game because I thought it was really funny. All right, it's called Legends of Learning, and I've already got it to where it's a particular game about food webs. Give it just a second to kind of upload, and the reason I'm showing you this is because it took me a second to kind of figure out how to play it. Okay, so you're going to tap to play. And then tap. There's a lot of tapping, okay? Especially when you want something to come up and when you want something to go somewhere, okay? So tapping. All right, hello, you must be the new energy spirit. Hello, my name is Althea, and I am a food fairy. Welcome to Earth. I will be your guide. For some reason, I feel like Natalie is really going to like this game. Now I'll guide you on how to play the game. So I'm just clicking. Every time I want to go to something different, you just click, okay? The sun comes down. Here, you'll help by providing energy to living creatures, which is what the sun does. Now, when you're ready to go on to something different, you just click, okay? First of all, let's start by growing this seed. Click. Collect all the sunshine that you need so that the grass can grow. Okay, I clicked again. So now I'm going to collect sunshine. I'm just clicking on the sunshine, okay? And looking right up here, this is how much more sunshine I still need so that my seed can grow. Almost there. Ah, there we go. And then it has you ask a question. Due to their ability to make food, what is a plant known as? We talked about this earlier this week. We said it was a producer. Okay, so it gives you points for that. All right, so plants are able to perform photosynthesis, which produces their own energy from the sun, hence the name producer. All right, now this is the part that I thought was really, really cool. So it's going to continue in. Look, the goat is eating the grass. I'm not going to go through the whole game with you, but I am going to go through this first part. Don't worry. As the goat eats the grass, the energy inside the grass is transferred to the goat. So the sun gave the grass energy, and now the grass is giving the goat energy. So now it's your job to support the goat. As we can see, the energy moves from the producer to the primary consumer, in this case, the goat, okay? So we had This is the grass right here, and it's giving energy. See, the green arrow giving energy to the goat. And this game is going to take you all the way through this food web. So let's go and enjoy the goat life. Oh, really quickly, here's a question. Do you know what type of animal is usually a primary consumer? Let's see. Plant, herbivore, carnivore, omnivore? I'm just going to click on one and see what happens. Oh, herbivore. That is correct. Now, if you get it wrong, it doesn't give you the points that you need. Okay? That's right. Primary consumers are the living organisms that eat producers, so they are called herbivores. All right, so now we're inside the goat. We're inside the body's animal, and we need to keep him going. So you can jump, okay? So you have to jump over rocks, and you have to eat the hay, okay? So jump over the rock, jump over the rock, jump over the rock. Notice my energy down here is getting low. I need to eat some more hay, eat some more hay. Jump. I'm going to let my friend out. Oh, and it gave me another question, okay? Which organisms on the energy pyramid will have the most energy available to them, okay? So you may not know the answers to all these questions. Some of these questions are definitely higher level, but it does give you a little picture to look up here, okay? So the ones that have the energy, that have the most energy, okay, I would say the ones that are the lowest, okay? All right, keep going. We are gonna dash and get some more energy. We're going to dash and get some more energy, let our friend out, and it's gonna ask us a question, okay? All right, so you're gonna keep going through this game. What really happens is, the funny part is when the goat dies and when whatever eats the goat, that die, and I thought, I wasn't expecting it, and so I thought it was really funny. Okay, so after you finish playing that game, which is really a lot of fun, you're gonna complete the food web on the next slide, and then complete a food web of your own. All right, so here is the one that I'm going to do with you today. So this is a food web. Notice that not everything is going straight across, because that's really not how it works in the world, okay? The sun gives energy to thousands of things, and those thousands of things feed thousands of things, and those thousands of things feed thousands of things. So it's not just one thing in a straight line. So I want you to look and see. This is what's a food web. I chose one for the ocean, and I went ahead and I put the krill right here in the middle. Now, I did not start my food. I don't have the sun in my food web, and that's okay. You don't. We know it's there. We know that's part of the food web. Okay, but I'm going to start with krill, and I put it right here in the middle. Okay, so our job is to figure out, where do these things go right here? Where does orca, Arctic cod, the baleen whale, a penguin, a leopard seal, zooplankton, and phytoplankton, where do they go right here? And I have to read these things right here in order to get my clues, okay? So I start off by telling you that the krill, and I didn't mean to bold all those things, the krill gives energy to the baleen whale, the leopard seal, the penguin, and the Arctic cod. Okay, so that means that the krill, which is right here in the middle, okay, it gives energy to how many things? Baleen whale, leopard seal, penguin, and Arctic cod. 4 things, okay? Notice that I have 1, 2, 3. I'm supposed to have 4 arrows right here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I need to have another arrow. What did I say? Leopard seal, penguin, baleen. Oh, I do have 4 arrows. Oh, there it is. 1, 2, 3. This one, actually, this arrow is not very good. I'm going to make it go right there so you can see it better. Okay, so notice that there's an arrow going here, an arrow going here, an arrow going here, and an arrow going here. That means the krill gives energy to this thing, this thing, this thing, and this thing. And I know that these right here are going to have to be the Arctic cod, the baleen whale, the penguin, and the leopard seal. I just don't know which one is which, okay? But it says that the leopard seal gives energy to the orca, okay? The leopard seal gives energy to the orca. That means that the leopard seal only gives energy to one thing. okay? The leopard seal only gives energy to one thing. So that means I have to think, okay, if it's this one, this one, this one, or this one, which one of these only gives energy to one thing, okay? This one right here doesn't give energy to anything, so it can't be that one. This one only gives energy to that one. This one gives energy to that one, so I'm going to keep on going. All right, phytoplankton, and figuring out which one that is. The orca, the orca has no predators. So that means that the orca has nothing that eats it, okay? Which means that the orca is not going to have anything that has arrows that's pointing outward, okay? Anything that has arrows that's pointing outward. And notice this one right here has no arrows pointing outward, okay? That means that the orca right here only gets energy from things. It does not give energy to anything, okay? So the orca is going to go right there, okay? All right, and some of the other things that we are reading about is the penguin, okay? The penguin gives energy to the leopard seal and to the orca. Okay, now I remember one of these had to be penguin. And we know that the penguin gives energy to the leopard seal and the orca. Notice that this one right here, one goes to orca and one goes to something else. Okay, so that means penguin's got to go here. And if penguin goes there, the penguin gives energy to the orca and it gives energy to, what did it say? The leopard seal, which means the leopard seal has to go there. Okay, so you can see as you read through this, you listen to the clues and you should be able to figure out where everything goes, okay? All right, so let's see. And then the krill gave energy to the baleen whale and the Arctic cod, but then the baleen whale has no predators, and the other one that has no predators is this one, because notice that this one is not giving energy to anyone else, okay? Which means that that one has to be the Arctic cod. And then I'm left with zooplankton and plankton. All right, zooplankton give energy to the Arctic cod, which means it has to be this one, because the zooplankton gives energy to the Arctic cod, which means the phytoplankton has to go there, okay? And so that is my food web. I promise the one that I have you doing next is definitely easier than this one, okay? All right, but I do want you to think about this. What were to happen, okay? What if something happened and all of a sudden, where's my X? I forget, there we go, there it is. All right, what were to happen if all of the sudden, all of the, I don't know, what if happened all of a sudden if the phytoplankton died? What if there was some sort of disease in the water or the ocean? What if something happened and all of a sudden there were no more phytoplankton? Okay, well, krill, first of all, okay, krill gets energy from phytoplankton, okay? It gets the energy from the phytoplankton. Krill would basically be no more because nothing else gives krill energy. Krill eat phytoplankton. So if phytoplankton were to die or go away, then the krill would die or go away because that's the only thing that it eats, okay? So that would be very, very harmful, okay? If the krill were to all die, look, the penguin depends on krill, the leopard seal depends on krill, the blue whale depends on krill, and so does the Arctic cod. All of those things depend on krill. Well, the baleen whale only eats krill, so the baleen whale would die off, okay? Now, the Arctic cod, see the Arctic cod? The Arctic cod eats krill. Well, that means the Arctic cod couldn't eat krill anymore. What's the only thing that it could eat? The zooplankton. See, zooplankton gives the Arctic cod its energy, and the krill gives the Arctic cod its energy. If the krill die, then the only thing the Arctic cod can eat now is the zooplankton. So it would be eating a lot more zooplankton, okay? Well, if there's no more krill, The leopard seal would not be eating the krill. The leopard seal would have to eat a lot more Arctic cod and a lot more penguins, which makes me sad. All right, the penguin only gets its food from the krill. See the krill goes to the penguin, that right there. So if the krill are gone, then what else is gone? The penguin is gone. Goodness gracious. Well, if the penguin is gone, now the leopard seal can't eat the penguin anymore. The only thing the leopard seal could eat would be the Arctic cod. Okay, so all kinds of crazy things happen when just one thing from an ecosystem is destroyed or goes away, or what happens if all of a sudden people go out and they start hunting penguins and there's no more penguins anymore. So definitely have some bad things that happen when certain things in ecosystems either go extinct or get killed or get destroyed or something like that. All right, so this is the one that you are going to do, okay? You're gonna do a forest food web. I did create the sun for this one, okay? So you can start right here with the sun. Now, you're gonna read these clues, and all of these clues are gonna help you figure out where the mouse, the hawk, the vulture, the snake, the coyote, the grasshopper, and the grass go. Now, we had something like this earlier this week. Was it this one? It was that one right there, okay? That's the one that I did and then told you to do yourself. So do notice that you already have sun, grass, snake, what else? Grasshopper, okay? All of these things were already on your one for Tuesday. So that Tuesday one should help you with the one for Thursday, okay? Really quickly before I go through these right here, I'm going to have you put a blue, let's see, let's do it right here, because now that you have the room right here, maybe, yeah, I gotta decide where I want it. Where do I want it? I want it right here. Okay, since there's room right here on Thursday, I'd like for you to I'd like for you to do a blue lightning bolt right here down in this area. Maybe right here somewhere by photoplankton. Create a blue lightning bolt right down here in that area for me. Okay? All right, so this is the one you're going to do on your own. The sun gives energy, which is called photosynthesis, to the grass. Okay? So sun gives energy to what? To the grass. So that should tell you where the grass goes, okay? The grass gives energy to the mouse and the grasshopper. The mouse gives energy to the snake, the hawk, and the coyote, and the vulture. So reading through these should help you figure out where these go. Now remember, super, super, super important, these arrows mean giving energy. The sun gives energy to the grass. The grass gives energy to two things, the grasshopper, and what was the other one? The mouse, okay? So here's giving energy to, giving energy to. So you have to figure out between these two right here, which is the grasshopper and which is the mouse, okay? All right, so that is your assignment for today. Have fun with this.